You're listening to the Into the Woods podcast with your hosts, Dermot and Michael. Let's get into it.
Wonderful chase by Shaw.
Cox again. I cannot believe it. Dacos nearly runs out of room. He's goal. Jamie Elliott has won the game of footy for this famous club. Slap for Nick Dacos. He's going to be the hero. The little champ is going to pick the winner.
Here's the Goey moment. He unloads. Bang! You need your stars. And Collingwood stars just went and wrenched the cup back.
If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. For Spotify and Apple listeners, a 5-star rating would be greatly appreciated. Make sure you hit the bell icon on any of those platforms to be notified as soon as new episodes are released. You can find us on X at Into the Woods Pod and on Instagram at Into the Woods Pod 10. Thanks for your ongoing support by helping the podcast grow. Go Pies! Welcome to Into the Woods. I'm your host, Dermot. For the next hour or so, we'll be talking about all things Collingwood. Once again, I'm joined by Michael. I'm not going to ask you how you are because right now we've just recorded about an hour 20 of our podcast.
Yep, this is the end of the pod.
We're putting it at the start just so you can just quickly say what you need to say. But we've literally just gone through an hour 20. And Michael did not
to talk about the greatest day in the history of mankind. We didn't talk about
Michael. Mate, we pulled everything apart, and Michael has just made me.
I've got
press record again.
I've got streamers strategically placed throughout my house, and as I walk past them, I'll just let one off. I'll just detonate one occasionally in celebration of the retirement of Hoskin-Elliott. You beauty.
You're a dickhead.
You beauty. Dermot rang me as I'm driving back from Launceston to Hobart the other day. He rang me to tell me the news. And I knew something was up because for about 20 minutes beforehand, cars going past me, they were honking their horns and flashing their lights, and people were hanging out of windows screaming and carrying on and in great celebration. So I knew something was up.
Yes.
You beauty.
Oh, well,
his reign of terror is over. His reign of terror is over.
I like to literally just for a moment actually thank Hoskin-Elliott for his services. Over 200 games, premiership player, really good final series in 2023, really strong season as a forward in 2018. Great club, man.
Not my cup of tea.
I actually like Hoskin-Elliott, although he played too many games this year because I felt like the end was definitely...
He was obviously a very nice person. But my great aunt was a very nice person. I don't want her on the half-forward flank.
Yes, there you go. And I had people messaging me during the week being like, oh my God, I can't wait to hear what Mike wants to say about this. Can't believe we literally made it through a whole podcast without you mentioning it.
I'm off to detonate a cracker.
So we've chucked this right at the start of the episode just because I knew that's what the fans wanted. Are we okay now to get back into the episode?
Oh, we're more than okay.
All right.
It's a week of celebration.
Here's the actual episode of Into the Woods. Enjoy. Welcome to Into the Woods. I'm your host, Dermot, and for the next hour or so, we'll be talking about all things Port Magpies. Once again, I'm joined by Michael. How are you, Mick?
Yes, just waiting for the delivery of my Prison Bars jumper. Yes, I've always loved Port Adelaide, loved them a lot.
Yes, I've never ever doubted Hinkley.
No.
Yeah, maybe we should get him over as an assistant or something. The man that saved our 2025 season. Because let's face it, we'll get into the hot topics soon, but let's face it, it wasn't Fly and our players that saved our season, was it? It was Port Adelaide causing that upset.
Yeah, well, they helped out a lot, didn't they? But just watching two thrillers kind of inside a half an hour, it's just not good.
Not good for the old heart.
It's just like with the Port Adelaide game, just when Anderson was just streaming through the centre.
Oh.
And it was still, I had a quick look, I think it was still 22 seconds on the clock when he handballed it off. Anything could have happened at that point. There you go.
Your house is so shit for podcasting. I'm just going to put it out there.
I think you've raised it before, Dermot.
So the people that are listening won't know this, but our viewers on YouTube, we normally swap every second week. So my house, which is very, very good for recording the video, and then your house, which isn't so good. as the people watching would just see, this big bolt of bloody sunshine has just come streaming in.
From the sun.
Yes, but it's not exactly good. But luckily, this is the last ever time it will be at your house.
Yes.
Yes, I've made that very clear.
Yes. Dermot's the Monty Burns of the Into the Wood podcast. He's been cursing the sun for the last 10 minutes.
Michael, the microphone's there, and you're talking straight ahead.
I'm addressing the audience.
They can't. They probably can't hear you.
Yeah, they can hear me. They can hear me just
Talk
fine.
into the microphone.
I've got nothing to say at this point in time.
We've only been doing this for what, 18 months?
Yeah, let's get on with it. What are we talking about?
Still not talking to microphone. No, well, last night we won't talk about Port Adelaide in hot topics because it isn't a Port Adelaide podcast, believe it or not. But I want to show my respect for that club because they're disgusting most of the time. But last night, I remember I was talking to the Into the Woods panel show group chat on Instagram, which you're not a part of, and I brought up at this, I think it was about Tuesday or Wednesday, just before Andreas's live on Black and White United, brought up the fact that could we know that we're going to finish in the top 4 come Friday night? My point was being, with Hinkley and Boak and their farewell, maybe Port could cause a huge upset. I didn't get a lot of support, and Andreas brought it up on his live, and I don't think there was a lot of support on that either. And look, I was just being more hopeful than anything. I'm not going to say that I actually truly believed that they were a chance, but it's exactly what happened. You could tell they definitely played for Ken and Boki, didn't they?
Well, I thought they were a sneaky chance, given the circumstances, and given that, look, Gold Coast, they still haven't got a good away record. They've always struggled away, and it was there for the taking. The finals were there for a taking, and they're a little bit of a nervy side as well. They've got very little experience. So, would I put my money on Port? No. But am I surprised they won? Not really.
You're not.
I'm not really surprised. No.
I'm shocked, but that was the definition of a choke, wasn't it? They basically had it all in front of them, Gold Coast.
Well, they should have won. Yeah. So if a choke is you lose when you should have won, they choked.
But it's also not just losing when you should win. It's losing when you should win with such a big prize at the end of it. Oh yeah, and it was a top 4 spot. Everyone's talking about top 8, and then they might now miss out on top 8. I'd still be shocked if they lose to Essendon on Wednesday night.
Right, they have to lose to Essendon to miss out in the finals, right? Yeah, they won't lose to Essendon.
No, not at home, but. Not a lot of the media, I know people online are talking about this, but not a lot of the media are so much talking about them missing the 4 now because they were basically going to lock themselves into the top 4. And look, we were awful last night, and we'll get into that very soon. We were shocking. So, I don't know. I'm excited because we've got that top 4 spot that we so desperately needed, but far out. We have a lot of work to do.
Well, yeah, we're just closing on Port Adelaide, Gold Coast. Hardwick annoys me. He's such a whiner.
He is, isn't he?
He's a whiner. I just saw on something on X this morning. He's whinging. He's saying the umpires got caught up in the emotion of the game. And then somebody rightly pointed out, like they did with Collingwood and Gold Coast a few weeks ago, when Matt Rowe got 5 or 7 free kicks. Like he was.
Did someone in the media say it?
No. So I commented.
That would have been good.
He just whines a lot, Damien Hardwick, and he's just classless with his we got kicked in the balls tonight. A bit of class, Damien Hardwick. A bit of you're supposed to be a statesman for your club.
I mean, I've always supported Demo, but I've noticed this year in particular, which is weird because they've had a good season, but he has been whining a lot.
Oh, he's always whining. Look at that Marvel Stadium back in the day. Winning flags 3 and 4 years wasn't enough to stop him whining.
Yeah.
Like, he's always carrying. No wonder he's... Doesn't matter. I was going to say something else, but...
Don't hold back, Mick.
No. I'm not going to say things I don't know anything about.
I know what you're going to say, far out. All right, anyway, let's get into all the hot topics.
We've listened to the wisdom of Sir Winston Churchill and the brilliance of genius Albert Einstein. In the 60s, we heard the great JFK. Now, all the great minds are talking footy.
All right. Before we get into hot topics, Mick, I want you to apologise to our viewers for your sunny house. This is out of control at the moment.
Yes, I apologise for the star which it sustains Earth. It's all my fault.
Well, we need to try and be professional, and it's kind of hard to when it looks like we're literally filming on the sun.
Just okay. It is what it is. Like the sun's okay, Monty. Let's get on with it though.
All right. So as I
You
said,
reckon they understood that reference to Monty?
he's talking about Mr. Burns.
Yeah,
when
he
he
tried
covered
to-
up the sun.
When he covered up the sun.
Yeah, great episode.
He was cursing the sun,
Yeah.
and he eventually covered it up. So I'm likening Dermot to Monty Burns.
So it's not
So that's the joke.
It's not funny when you have to explain your joke.
Yeah, but people. Yeah, but
People are stupid. Is that what you're going to say? Now you're criticizing our
no,
audience.
I wasn't criticising the audience. I've got great respect for the audience, the smart ones.
That's not what you say when we turn the cameras off.
Let's get on with it. So,
All right. So
yeah, keep on. Yep.
we were awful. We were absolutely shocking last night.
Well-
Like, it's okay. We're up and about because we've locked in that top 4 spot. Well, Port helped us lock it in. But I think that this week off is going to be huge for us. We need to reset. We need to fix a lot of things because I'll make a big statement right from the top. Based off the last 2 months, we're by far the worst team in the top 8 at the moment. By far. Does that mean we can't win the premiership? No. We're top 4 now. So we only need to win 3 games and we're the premiers. We won 14 of our first 16, so we're capable. But a lot needs to change.
Yes, if we had lost that game, I reckon we would have lost it at the selection table. Some weird, like, whenever you watch McRae's press conferences during the week, he talks in a manner which leads you to believe certain things are going to happen, i.e., certain players are going to come in or certain players are going to be dropped. And then it doesn't end up happening. He's done it consistently throughout his time at Collingwood. You listen to these press conferences and you think, okay, yeah. In this week, McStay will definitely be dropped. Cox will come in. In prior weeks, you had McRae from the reserves. Yeah, he'll get a Guernsey. But just these things don't eventuate.
I don't think he ever really guaranteed that McStay was going to be dropped. He said they're going to talk about it. Match
No. But yeah, quite often, reading between the lines, you get a very strong impression that they're going to pull one lever or another, and they don't. So yeah, I find you can't take anything from his press conferences. You get no inkling of what's going on.
I actually think he's quite honest in his press conference. I strongly disagree with selecting McStay, but he never said that was definitely happening. He just said that both players, magnets, McStay and Cox, are on the board and they'll go to match committee and they'll talk about it. Okay. And they obviously decided to go with McStay. Was it the right decision? Probably not.
No, Well, I think they're probably thinking we want to get our best 23, obviously playing by this stage of the year, if not last week or week before. Maybe they think our best 23 involves McStay, but I reckon our best 23 against Melbourne was probably different to our best 23 for the finals because we're playing Melbourne and Max Gawn plays for Melbourne. We need to double team Max Gawn. Because if we don't, we run the real risk of losing against them. Like in the King's birthday match and again last night. He's just too good not to double team him. So I reckon we had to bring Cox in last night.
Yeah.
And I reckon that lack of a move almost cost us the game.
Well, let's talk about right from the start. I had this a little bit further down, but it's a good segue. Let's talk about McStay and Cox because McStay was just shocking. Like, he ended up taking a nice mark and kicking a crucial goal.
How did he miss that one before that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. But before then, it was almost his worst game of his career. Collingwood career. I can't speak for what he did at Brisbane, but he was just dropping easy chest marks, missing goals from the goal square. It basically fell into his lap, and it just plenty of other mistakes around the ground. He doesn't give us a hell of a lot as the second ruck.
He gives us nothing as a second ruck.
There you go. And he's given us nothing as a forward. Now, Mason Cox was awful in most games he's played this year, but he's a much better ruckman, and he can't go much worse as a forward as what McStay is right now.
Yeah.
And going in the finals, we know what Meso has done on the big stage. Will he do that again? Is he washed? Maybe. But at least it will give us some hope that he could pull a rabbit out of the hat.
Well, I think that one grab might have saved McStay's. Taking that one grab might have saved him.
I actually wanted to talk to you about that and whether he does keep his spot because it was such a big moment. But
should he or will he?
Both.
I think he will. I don't think he should. But obviously, that's not to say he won't come out and kick 2 or 3 next week. Or the week after. He may very well do that. But that's just more. You'd be picking him then on hope, not expectation. So what you expect to get is what you've got for the last 10 weeks of the year. That's what you expect to get. So you have to pick on the best pointer of the future is the recent past. Okay, so that's what we expect to get in 2 weeks' time, what we have been getting in the last 10 weeks. So that's why I'd go for Cox.
I could just see a scenario if Cox plays first quarter, qualifying final, whether at the G or the Adelaide Oval, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, which one we'll prefer, because we're recording this on the Saturday morning, so before all the results for the rest of the weekend. We still don't know who we're playing, but I could just see Meso first quarter clunking a couple marks, kicking a couple of goals, and that being the thing that lifts us.
Yeah.
The USA chants and
Yeah.
Coxie going nuts, and that would be very lifting for the team. Can you see McStay doing something similar? Like, maybe 'cause
Well-
he did have a good final against Jervis, and I think his Melbourne final was underrated too. So
He's not American though, so they're not going to do this.
he's not American. No, they won't be doing the USA for champ for McStay.
No, they won't.
But I don't know. I don't know. It's difficult. It's difficult. I would have liked to have seen Cox get given that chance against Melbourne. I'm not confident pulling the trigger for week one of finals when we haven't done it all year.
The other thing, well, he's played a handful of games.
Well, we has.
It's
Yes.
not like he's never been in the side. But the likely opponent will be Adelaide in Adelaide.
All right, we'll talk about that now.
Yeah. So given that, O'Reilly's not a great ruckman. He's a good ruckman. He's a good solid ruckman. But the reason you'd bring Cox in there, how he'd help us, it would enable Cameron to push back and help out with the three-headed monster that's going to be even harder to contain, considering Howe's probably going to be out.
Well, that's the other thing you wanted to touch on.
Yeah. So I would. The more I think about it, I would definitely bring Cox in, but I don't think they will. I don't think they will.
Oh, jeez. Well, we'll get into who we want to play a little bit later, but we'll now go to Jeremy Howe because this is the biggest talking point from the game. Did you see Fly's press conference?
Yes.
He made it sound like there was some kind of hope that Jez could play week one.
I didn't read it like that. He made it.
No, he said there's a smoky chance or something like that. He could be there week one.
Yeah, a smoky chance, but it's basically a smoky chance is a smoky chance, isn't it? Which isn't much.
He hasn't got scans yet. And I did my own research, and as I said, the old Google.
This is the guy that couldn't get him to do any homework at all, like zero. And now he's doing research into abdominal injuries.
Yeah. Well, this is more important. You can't tell me that Jeremy Howe's groin is less important than a little bit of English and math. Like, come on, Mick.
Yeah.
It could be anywhere from 1 week.
I think people major into Jeremy Howe's groin, but anyway.
It could be anywhere from 1 week to a couple of months on the sidelines. So it really depends how the scans come back. And I've said this many times. He's our second most important player after Nick. We need this guy.
He looked like a guy resigned to his fate. Like I'm not a psychology major, but he looked like a guy resigned to his fate, sitting on the bench, didn't he?
You know that I've had a couple of people message me.
Oh yes.
In recent weeks, asking if you're a psychiatrist.
Oh really?
Because at one point you made a joke.
I claim to be a psychiatrist.
You did at one point, and people actually thought that you were.
Yeah, no, I'm a psychiatrist.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
I maintain.
You're a fucking nutcase. You should not be. You should not be talking to anybody.
I maintain I'm a psychiatrist.
You're definitely.
And you can put your faith in me.
Didn't you just say that you're not about 30 seconds ago?
Oh, I'd have to listen back to the tape. I'm not sure.
Right. So let's just assume that Jez isn't right, at least for week one. How are we replacing that?
Well, we can't. It'll be a case of the aforementioned Cox move. Bring Cox in. Cameron stays back a lot. That would help out, but we'd still need to have somebody else do. I'm bringing Cox in, keeping McStay. My old idea of just put McStay back there and just stop him marking McStay. Just stop the marking. That's your job. Don't worry if you don't get any possessions. Just play a Billy Frampton role down there. I know that's not great as far as counter-attack, But we can't bring anybody in from the twos, can we? We're not going to bring Dean in.
What's wrong with Charlie Dean?
Nobody likes Charlie Dean. Mate, I read during the week that Charlie Dean's mother threw a shoe at the TV watching him.
Here's an idea for you.
Yeah.
It's one of your ideas from the preseason.
Oh, really?
If it's not McStay, my check is out of form. He's not looking.
Yeah.
He's got an injury concern of his own, but let's just assume he's all right because he played out the game, that wrist injury. He's a little bit more versatile than what McStay just looks so slow and like robotic the way he moves. Like, I'm not sure if I want him down.
I think Mychek's a smarter footballer
Yeah.
than McStay.
Yeah.
Well, I've been for the years because we've always had a problem with key position back for many years now. There's always been a bit of a vulnerability there. I've often talked about Mychek going back because, as everybody knows, he came to us as a backman from Port Melbourne. Somebody throw one of the key forwards back.
Maybe. Or the other option, we're going a little bit smaller, which we could possibly do if we played the Cats. Well, we did it against the Crows only a couple of weeks ago. We went a little bit smaller. But something that I reckon changed last night's game in that last quarter was Pendlebury behind the ball. He was just fucking unreal. That guy is fucking unreal. Yeah. Now, he's not a like-for-like replacement for Jeremy Howe. Don't get me wrong. But Maynard can play a little bit taller. Quainer can play a little bit taller. And
what do you mean? Don't get me wrong. It was my idea. We talked about this last night. Don't regurgitate my ideas and then tell me not to get it wrong because I originated it.
What I just said wasn't your idea, but if you actually waited about another 15 seconds, I was about to give you credit for something.
Sounds a lot like my idea.
I was literally about to give you credit for something.
Okay, go ahead, give me the credit.
But before I get to your credit, well, I might not give it to you now, you asshole, but you've made me think. Oh yeah, so Pendlebury behind.
Now, Michael, listen carefully because you might not understand this. In spite of the fact that it was your idea,
well, it wasn't your idea. We all watched Pendlebury go behind the ball. It wasn't your idea that he was behind the ball. You fucking idiot.
I'll tell you what was my idea, and I'll tell you right now.
No, you won't, because I'm about to get to that. Can you just sit down and shut up for once in your fucking life, you big girl?
Don't talk to a psychiatrist like that. Have a bit of respect.
Pendlebury, I reckon. That was one of the best last quarters I've seen a Collingwood play this year. I don't think stat wise, maybe not, but he just controlled the game. And I'll tell you why stat wise he was taking a lot of the kick ins, but he wasn't running out. You only get a stat when you run out. But he set everything up. He was taking, I reckon he took about 4 kick ins and just widened the ground. He was just pinpointing it to Moore, to Quainer, to Maynard, all from the kick ins, pressured kicks, hitting our players on the chest, and we're off. And that's how we'll get. I haven't looked at the stats. It wouldn't surprise me if he had quite a few score involvements in that last quarter from his kick-ins alone. He just controlled everything back there, and yeah, like I said, one of the best last quarters. And it's just so typical of Pendlebury, just standing up when we need him most. I don't know what we're going to do when he's gone because.
Do you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the last quarter of the grand final.
It did in terms of him stepping up and controlling the game. He played different roles.
Oh, different roles, but the way he, as you say, controlled the game,
completely opened the ground up with his kicks. They
call him the conductor because he's like an orchestra, he just conducts it, and that's why I said at the time he should have won the Norm Smith medal. He won Collingwood that grand final.
You're just hating on Bobby Hill.
No. You know I've always said that.
Yeah. I think you're one of the only people who don't think Bobby deserved that.
Bobby played a great game, but we won because of Pendlebury.
The sun's starting to slowly go. But anyway, what I wanted to give you credit for.
Oh, yes.
Well, yes, if you just waited a little bit.
Sit up straight in my chair.
Pendlebury replacing Howe down there, not as the same kind of role, but in terms of we need that calm head down back, that leader down back. Darcy Moore is our captain, but he doesn't act like it a lot of the time he's on the field. Although he had some very good moments last night, Darcy. I'll give him that. But we just need that calm head, don't we? We haven't really had that since Dacos was playing halfback for like a couple of years ago, and other than Howe himself. And now coming into a final series, Pendlebury, that he could be the man that could control that whole back six if we continue it.
Yep, exactly. Just a bit like how Nick Maxwell used to control that back line.
Yeah, but
just used to direct the traffic. Obviously,
better footballer.
Oh yeah. Totally different footballer and everything, but still the same level of command where he's directing traffic down there. In Howe's absence, I think we need him down there, or to spend a fair bit of time down there.
Could it just be you got Frampton and Moore as your two keys? You got Bruzzy playing the third tour, Quainer, then you got Perryman, Pendlebury, and one of Dacos or Houston. One stays there, one.
Which Dacos? Because I want to talk about
Josh.
Well, Josh, how do you? Can I change the topic for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. How do we best utilize our best player in the finals?
Nick, you're talking? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not talking about Josh. Our best player.
All right.
Josh isn't our best player.
Oh, he's a good player.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not a good player, but he's fair distance off.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
How do we utilize him? How do we get the most out of him? I want to, as I've been saying for quite a while, and a lot of other people have been saying the same thing, we want to get him the ball in space as much as we can. Like, does he spend more time? Is he another one who spends a bit more time up halfback or on the wing? We're not winning the clearances anyway. We got fairly well beaten in the clearances again last night.
I didn't check the final numbers.
Yeah, like it was. I did have it written down, but no, they 38-26 overall clearances.
34-20. Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
We won him against Adelaide.
Yeah. So it's not like we're going to be taking him out and he's dominating the clearances for us anyway, because he's not really. Well, he's probably doing his part.
I think he's the main one winning clearances for us.
Yeah, I know.
If you take him out, it might be even worse.
But yeah, that's true. But just want to see him with the ball in hand in space.
Well, so I reckon this isn't about Nick. This is about, I guess, a clearance issue or getting some of our better plays into the game. And it goes back to Pendlebury. If Pendlebury goes back, steal side bottom. I reckon side bottom has been average since about round 10. Really, really, really average. His first 10 weeks of the year, I had him in an All-Australian team at the halfway point of the season. He's not close to that now. It's all happened since he's moved from an inside mid, which looked like it changed his career, back onto a wing. Now, he was on the wing last year and it almost ended his career. He's just done as a wingman, I reckon, still. He looked outstanding as that inside mid in the first 10 rounds of the year. If Pendlebury goes back, for the love of God, put Steele side bottom back in the guts because
For the love of God,
because we need Steele at his best. He's not playing well as a wingman. Do you disagree with that?
All the young people are saying for the love of God these days.
Straighten up, Mick.
I was about to say something, you distract me. No, I know what I was going to say. I only ever quote other people. I have no actual original ideas of my own. Somebody else said earlier in the year when Steele side bottom was playing inside mid, they thought to themselves, okay, he can do this and we can do it well. Okay, we'll just put that in the back pocket for the time being.
That was me that said that.
Was it? That surprises me because I never listened when you talk. I don't listen to anything you say.
The rant have also said a similar thing.
Oh, maybe I heard of the rant. Yes. We know that works. So let's put it in our back pocket, and we'll try because we've got a 3-game buffer or whatever it is. We'll try a few things, knowing we can come back to that at some stage in the future, possibly finals. So maybe they're going to come back to it in the finals.
Well, I hope so, because if Pendlebury's playing back, I reckon there's a spot there for us to a side bottom in the midfield. I reckon you want your best players in their best positions in the biggest games, and I just don't think he's working as a wingman anymore. Not that he's playing. Sorry, he's not so bad that he's just letting the team down, but he's just nowhere near his best.
Yeah.
And
look, I think they're just going to heavily rotate players through the different positions.
Possibly. Well, another one is Jack Crisp. I just don't think he's had the same impact on the wing this year. He's had good games, good moments, but
his best games throughout his history, I think, has been as an inside mid.
Yeah.
When he's gone into the centre, he's always he's a big body, he's fast, he's explosive, he can run and carry.
Look, Mick, you can see us now.
Yes, yeah.
The sun's gone. Yes,
Banish the sun.
But yeah, as soon as as recent as this year as well. That I was at that game against Freo in WA, and if we didn't have him that night in the midfield, we would have been absolutely destroyed. I reckon that was a game we arrested about 6 players. He was clearly best on ground that night. Oh, here comes the sun. And
can we leave the sun? Can we move on? It's going to be coming behind the clouds and coming out of the clouds, Dermot. as the podcast.
We'll always
goes.
remember the last
let's-
podcast at your house as the Sunny podcast.
Sunny podcast.
Sunny podcast. But yeah, Sidebottom, Crisp, these kind of guys in the midfield, come finals. I want to see more of it. You got guys like Houston that are now going to play on a wing. What did you think of Houston last night?
Uninspiring. He was okay.
He was a little bit better.
He was uninspiring.
Little bit better.
He's not.
I'll bring up his stats because I was surprised at the end of the game.
Yeah,
His
so
stats
was
are
I.
good, yeah.
Wasn't it low 20s or something?
It was low 20s, but not only that, his kicking disposal, his overall disposal efficiency was quite good. In recent weeks, it hasn't.
As you look,
22 disposals at 82% efficiency. Yet I just don't think he had much of an impact, did he?
No, he didn't.
But he's not having any impact down back as well. And we've got a lot of guys that can float a half back. If Sidebottom and Crisp are to spend a little bit more time in the guts, I reckon the wing is just the spot for him.
Yeah. Talking about disposal and disposal efficiency, in the first half, when we were missing all those goals, none of them were really easy, other than Lipinski's. Lipinski's missing the
That was
first
awful.
quarter. So we're getting a lot of kicks from like 45, 45 degrees out, 45 degree angles. So they weren't, or sometimes on the boundaries. So they weren't easy kicks, but gee, I would have liked to have nailed, obviously I would have liked to have nailed, but I would have expected to have nailed a few more of those, even though they're hard kicks. And we just kept them in it because of that. And in the last quarter, even though both of these guys played well, so I feel like I'm picking on them, but well, they're not listening anyway. McCreary and Schultz, so they've had running shots of goal, kind of inside 30, and they're on their left.
Tech side.
They're on their left foot and they're going with the outside of the right foot. To me, that just screams somebody who can't kick left foot. And how professional footballers in this day and age can't kick confidently with both feet are beyond me. Aren't they learning this? If they want to be footballers, they want to be footballers when they're 5 years old. Aren't they practicing opposite size kicks when they're 7, 8, 9, 10? Like when I think back to the 30 years ago, I reckon players could kick on both sides of their feet back then when they were semi-professional as much as they can now.
Well, I remember
check side crap.
I remember growing up back when you thought there might be a bit of hope for me when I was really young.
That was extinguished very quickly.
But the thing you used to tell me was how important it was to be able to kick on both feet.
I remember weeping one night.
I remember you trying to teach me how to bounce a football, and I
wasn't.
You were an awful teacher. So then my auntie's partner at the time, okay, and I reckon he taught me within about 10 seconds. And ever since then, I used the exact technique that he taught me when I was a kid.
Oh, and you've gone so far too, haven't you? In regards to your footy career,
it's just such an easy, basic way of doing it. You just complicate it. You would be the worst coach ever. But yeah, last week against Adelaide, our connection inside 50 was the huge issue, obviously.
fetal position sobbing on the ground, I was.
The connection inside 50 was just awful. Last night was a bit better. It was just our how we converted. It was just a kicking for goal, as you just said, was the thing that let us down. There's always something that lets us down in the last 8 weeks, isn't there? Like
Maybe we're just not good at footy.
we might not be. But this is the sort of shit we need to fix before our first qualifying final.
Yeah. I'm not sure how much confidence I have. Like as I spoke about before, the best indicator of the future is the immediate past, as in McStay, and I suppose you could extend that out to the whole team's form. We're going to have to, as McCrae said a couple of times himself, quoting Lee Matthews, you just have to be the best side come September. So we're just going to have to turn the form around.
I mean,
because we can't go in playing the way we are.
If we missed out on the top 4, I would have said that was season over. Based on we're not playing well enough to win 4 finals. I reckon that would have just absolutely the confidence would have been shot if we dropped out of 4. I reckon now there could be a little bit of energy over the next couple of weeks before our first final. We're there. We're in the 4. Let's just reset. Let's start again. What made us good in the first 16 weeks of the year? Let's get back to that. And away we go. That's what I'm hoping.
Wow.
I reckon we can win the premiership. I'm not tipping us to win the premiership from here.
No.
But like that Port Adelaide result last night, that was the difference between me thinking we're absolutely zero chance to now thinking that we're a chance. We're a chance. If you finish top 4, you're a chance.
Yeah, well, it's worked out as best we could have hoped, given our form recently. Because I was thinking during the week before the games of the last 24 hours, If we were to sneak into top four, I'd probably rather play in Adelaide than Geelong at the MCG. Obviously, we've got a great record at the MCG, is well documented, but we've got as good a record against in Adelaide and against Adelaide. And really, like last week's game, we should have won that by 3 or 4 goals, running away.
Will
So
we get confidence out of that, do you reckon?
Oh, I think they should. Yeah, they should get confidence. And then, of course, now Rankine won't be there.
Wow, that's the thing.
Rankine.
Yeah.
Well,
that worked out well. That we dobbed on him.
what a half-wit Rankine is. He's an absolute half-wit. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to just pull
Don't
out.
say it. Don't say it.
I'm going to say it.
No, Mick, don't say it. Don't say it. I can't be fucked editing.
I'm going to pull out this gem and
say
see
it.
how it goes over with the opposition.
Don't say the word.
What's the worst that can happen?
Don't say the word.
What's the worst that can happen?
Don't say the word.
You know, I haven't read the papers for the last decade. So what's the worst that could happen?
No, he's a dick.
What an idiot.
He's a dickhead. He's an absolute dickhead. And what's even more of a joke is he only got the 4 weeks. He should have got 5. Yeah, I'll let you talk about that.
Well, why is there even a deliberation between club and the AFL as to the penalty? The AFL should have just come out, thought, okay, he said this word, he hasn't self-reported, bang, 5 weeks, then leave it in Adelaide's court. Do they want to appeal, yes or no? No, what they do is they drag it out for 4 or 5 days or 6 days, whatever it was, going back and forth negotiating with Adelaide as to the penalty. When have they ever negotiated a penalty with a club before? And okay, so they've done this, and one of their reasonings was compelling medical evidence, which I understand it to be that if you had given Rankine 5 weeks, it would have made him sad. We should have used that with the Anthony Rocker case of the 2003 prelim. Okay, yeah, he's whacked laid, but if you suspend him, it's gonna make him sad. Let's go.
But it's at least
Please.
it's worked out for us, unless we play him in a grand final and he's back for that. Because obviously, if they lose their first qualifying final, but then make it all the way to the granny, he'll be back for that.
Do you reckon they might throw the first game against us?
Fucking hope so. That'd be right.
Jason Dunstall said it best when he said the AFL have become victims of their own wokeness. And he just put it beautifully because they're trying to juggle homophobia, racism, mental health, all in one issue. They're trying to juggle it. And where do they come down? Let's come down to 4 weeks. It's just...
So I wasn't following the Rankine thing as closely as most people were. I've had a big week, so I wasn't really caring too much because I think I just assumed he was going to get the 5 weeks. I thought, I don't care what happens in the days prior to that. He'll get 5. I was wrong. Am I correct in saying that they tried to throw in something out about Snoop Dogg to get him off? Is that right? That Snoop Dogg might have used a similar word and yet they're going with him for the grand final entertainment?
Well, the Snoop Dogg defence is well established in Western law. Yes.
Did I read that right? Is that actually a thing? Was that just a joke? I'm not sure. I feel like it was actually a real thing. Do you not know?
Yeah, they did. They did. The reasoning was because Snoop Dogg makes disparaging, homophobic references to in his songs, then Rankine should be allowed to play. It just follows.
Rightio, let's straighten up a little bit.
Goodwin versus Stevenson. It's a well-established precedent in regards to the Snoop Dogg defence.
All right, so
Of 1861.
So we're recording this at 10:15 a.m. right now. So actually, all the Saturday games today are completely irrelevant. Have you seen that, Mick?
No.
So I'll read out today's games. I think there's only 3. So you got North Melbourne and Adelaide, irrelevant. The Crows will smash them. You got Richmond and Geelong, irrelevant.
Richmond, Geelong.
Geelong will smash them.
Yes.
And then you got West Coast and Sydney, which just means absolutely nothing. So the AFL have set this up perfectly, and we'll talk about now. So you got GWS St Kilda. This is Sunday.
Right.
If GWS win,
this GWS St Kilda, where at? That's in
Sydney.
In Sydney, right?
They win by about 140 points. This whole podcast is just irrelevant because we're actually out of the 4. But they're not going to win by 140 points. Then these next 2 games.
Ring-a-ding-dingers, as Lou Richards used to say.
Marvel Stadium, Western Bulldogs v Freo. Winner makes finals, loser misses out. Unless Gold Coast somehow drop the Wednesday game to Essendon, but they won't.
Who do you want to make finals given if we come up against them, one of these sides at some stage? I think the answer is easy.
Freo.
Yes, we want Freo to win.
And then Gabba, 7:20 p.m. Brisbane Hawks. Winner makes top 4. Loser misses out on top 4. So you got one game that's going to be basically a mini elimination final, then another game that's basically a mini qualifying final.
Yeah,
that is
Brisbane win that, and I think Brisbane win it fairly comfortably.
Well, I'll now read out. So that's good for a football point of view, and now we can actually just enjoy those games as well. When Collingwood are locked in, we can sit back, enjoy it. It's going to be a good Sunday. But are we going to finish 3rd or 4th? I'm going to go through the scenarios, and if you're listening to this after Sunday, this is kind of irrelevant. So I'll try to be quick. So assuming that Adelaide and Geelong both win, if Brisbane defeat Hawthorn, we finish 4th and we play Adelaide in Adelaide. If the Hawks defeat Brisbane by less than 2 goals, we will finish 3rd and play Geelong at the MCG. And if Hawthorn defeat Brisbane by 2+ goals, we'll once again finish 4th and play Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval. So essentially we're...
And Snoop Dogg's lyrics are irrelevant to any of this, as I understand it.
And so basically, I think it's about 80% chance we play Adelaide at Adelaide. But in saying that, if the Hawks do win, I don't think they're going to win by a lot. So a winning by less than 2 goals isn't out of the equation. Right now, I know you've briefly touched on it, but if you could have your way, would you play Geelong at the MCG week 1 or Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval?
Well, I touched on it before. I reckon I'd play Adelaide in Adelaide. Just a slight, with Rankine out, everything I said before, rewind 7 minutes. What I said then is the answer to this question.
It's fascinating because in our last panel show, only, what, was it a week or 2 ago now? Wasn't that long ago? I think everyone on the panel, including you, said that, if we had a dream qualifying final, it would be Geelong at the G. I'm now moving away from that, and I'm kind of agreeing with you. It's just more of a gut feel than anything that we What? What are you laughing at?
Oh, just as I was reflecting, the reason I changed my answer is I'd been reflecting on this very question as I listened to Snoop Dogg during the week. In a meditative state.
My gut feel says Adelaide now. 1, because of Rankine, but 2, I just think that we've now, we should have beaten them. I reckon we're going to take confidence from that. We've got that good record at the Adelaide Oval and against Adelaide. It's kind of good that they've got that monkey off their back now. They've now beaten us. We haven't, we won, what was that, 10 in a row against them or something like that beforehand. The monkey's off the back for them now. So it feels like it's sort of level playing field. And I don't know. Jeremy Cameron scares the shit out of me. But then again, so does Phil Thorpe and Fogarty and all those blokes.
And who also scares me, and...
You're going to say Dangerfield, aren't you?
No. Well, Dangerfield's one of them. Just Manor and Close and Meyer and Dangerfield, those high half forwards that are they're all such clever footballers and neat footballers, and they just always do the right thing from whenever I watch them. Those guys, those 4 or 5 medium, small to medium forwards, they scare me.
Yeah, well, this is what's going to happen.
As well as Cameron.
All the top 4 teams are good, and we're the most out of form top 4 teams. So we're going to be the underdog no matter who we play.
Yeah,
they're both good sides. And they're both star favourites against us right now. Well, they would, don't you reckon?
Oh yeah. So, but I still prefer Adelaide. To play Adelaide.
I would just prefer Adelaide, only just, but I'm not really phased either way. I reckon. We just, whatever happens, and
we'll just
the punches.
Isn't it funny if, not that funny really, that if we play Geelong at the MCG, then after all this turmoil of the last 6 weeks, basically it would be identical, other than wearing white shorts as opposed to black. There would be the identical game had we finished top 2. We would have got exactly what we wanted. MCG game.
I was thinking about that this morning on my drive here, and it's essentially we thought we were locked for top 2 for the majority of the season, then all of a sudden, we win 2 of our last 7 games and we still get what we want. It's not the form we want going into the finals, but the result would be the same. Well, has a team ever finished top 4 after only winning 2 of their last 7 games? I don't reckon that would have happened.
No. But I don't reckon we play. I think when you say 80%, I think it's higher than that. We play Adelaide. I reckon we're playing Adelaide.
Yeah. We'll be watching that game with a bit of
interest. They'll be so uptight, Adelaide. I reckon they'll be so uptight.
Yeah. I guarantee
they haven't got a lot of finals experience. There's not a lot of finals experience guys in there.
Probably not, no.
No.
And you know what they're going to be? Every time Quayne against the ball, they're going to be booing him like it was his fault.
And Houston, of course.
Oh, yes. But they're already booing Houston as well.
And Dacos, because he's Dacos.
Yeah.
That's the only way the morons have to express their jealousy through booing.
Now, you touched on right at the start of the podcast, team selection against Melbourne.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go all the way back. You talked about Cobb the next day. I just hated it. The moment I opened the app and saw that we had dropped both Will Parker, who was coming off a really good game against the Crows, and Ed Allen after only playing 5 minutes.
He failed to impress in his 7 minutes of game time.
This is the thing. With Howe coming back, I kind of expected one to probably lose their spot. I didn't expect both because I like Steele, and he was okay last night. And he played really, really well in the VFL the week before. But at the end of the day, I just don't see why dropping someone like a Will Parker who performed at AFL level for a guy that performed at VFL level was fair.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. He did nothing wrong, Will Parker.
But also, Allen, we've had our troubles in the midfield, okay? Now, Allen's best game, I know there's an asterisk on this game, the Melbourne game of last game of last year. Asterisk on it because Melbourne didn't show up, I understand that. But Ed Allen's best game was that match, playing as an inside mid. Now, Steele coming in, he's not coming in to possibly play midfield. He's not going to play.
He's just a wingman. Yeah.
He's just a wingman, half back, half forward, whatever the case may be. Whereas Allen gives you that option in the midfield, an area we've struggled in for months, and an area we continued to struggle in last night. Why wouldn't you keep Allen in the side?
Yeah. Well, I understand that, it's hard to fit them both in, but one of them should have held.
I think Allen should have held, as much as I like...
well, Parker played the better game, although he didn't get a chance at Allen.
But just for the positions we needed, I think we could have really done with another midfielder.
That's true, because we did have Howe coming in, so I guess that wasn't a shock to see Parker going out, a defender for a defender. Is Parker could he come back in for Howe, potentially? We know he played well at that ground only a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it would be. Obviously, it's not like for like, of course, but
that was the swap this week. Parker out for Howe. So
that's
against the same team, Adelaide, most likely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, he could. I wouldn't be bothered with Parker coming in because, as I've said, he's always looked composed when he's come in. Hasn't set the world on fire, but he's been good.
2 players I want to talk about.
You want to? Can I guess one? Goey.
Right, I was going to save him the last because he's the big talking point, but let's go.
Go in your order, whatever. Doesn't matter.
We'll start with the Goey because you've said it now.
Yeah.
That, other than the Port Adelaide win, that was the highlight of the night. Geordie, not 100% at his best, but he's building. He was close to our best last night, if not our best. He was just outstanding as that midfielder. And you just feel like, I think Andre said it on the panel show, that his body at the moment is at 2023 level. He's very fit at the moment, and you could see that, couldn't you? On the weekend, like he's missed the September. This is what Jordan De Goey plays for. You feel like if his body holds up, he's about to go bang, and he could be the difference between us winning the premiership and not.
Definitely. Sometimes he frustrates you because he quite often gets caught, but you have to take the good with the bad. Because if he doesn't try that, then he's not doing those breakout of the exploding from stoppages, breaking out the centre plays that he's so well known for, and breaks open games. So sometimes when you're an attacking type player, there's going to be occasions where you get caught. Okay, it's a bit like McCreary. You take him on, you're going to be made to look stupid
Crisp
sometimes.
As well, yeah.
Crisp, he's another one. All these impact type players, you have to take the good with the bad. So De Goey got caught a few times last night, as he gets caught quite often because he takes the game on.
But yeah, the way he burst out of stoppage, he's just
when
mouth-watering.
When it works, it's worth it.
He's just, you just know he's setting himself down. You just know he can. It's September. It's nearly September. Geordie's back to full fitness.
Yeah, I think he's proven now that when earlier on we were saying, well, how would we use him if he came back to the system? Well, we'd have to use him like 80% forward.
He's barely paid forward. It's amazing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
so it looks like he does have his fitness levels up toward the point where he can.
Fly said in his press conference that he wasn't even expecting him to be back to this kind of level this quickly.
Yeah.
He was still saying that he thought that we might have to use him as a sub and stuff like that. Sub him on, sub him off.
Wouldn't it have been great to be brought back in to a side that was playing well though? Instead of being
the guy that's lifted us back in form, he could be the cream.
Exactly. Instead of being, you just used my analogy. I was building up.
Were you about to say?
I was about to say, instead of being the cake as he is now, he could have just been the cream. But now we're relying on him to be the cake.
Yeah. Oh, but that's all right. I reckon
It's a good analogy.
I reckon he's about to stay. Him and Pendles, we saw last night. He's now gearing up for September, and of course we know Nick is going to be all right. Those three, I feel like they're the three, especially with Jeremy Howe being out. They're the three that it's just crucial to what we're going to do in September, along with Darcy Moore. I mean, Darcy Moore in terms of if Howe isn't there, he is so fucking important. It's time to step up, captain. He wasn't bad last night. He had a couple of ordinary moments early. Defensively, he was good, though.
He's an enigma wrapped up in a riddle, Darcy Moore. Nobody quite knows what's going on.
But you have to admit, whether you think he is going to perform or not, it's important that he does.
Oh, yeah, of course it's important. It's important they all perform. Oh, yeah, but being a key back.
Especially with Howe out. Yeah.
Especially, yeah.
It's time, captain. All will be forgiven for the last few weeks if you put in a big September and lift that cup at the end.
When he does play really well in the really big games, I think it's when he prioritises defence. Like he's really focused on defence. He's not giving them those 4 or 5 meters and relying on the likes of Quaynor to help out in the air. It's when he plays tighter, and then if the opportunity presents itself, yes, then be attacking, but have attack as your secondary mindset, not as your principal mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. The other player I wanted to touch on, along with the Goey, it wasn't Darcy Moore. It was Bo McCreary. Far out, he was good last night, and he looked like he was done, didn't it?
When he hobbled off, because I had the TV on mute because
here we go. You always do that.
Yeah, I just don't. But I had the TV on mute, so I wasn't quite sure if the commentators were telling us he'd done his hammy again. But as it turns out, it was the foot. And you said me that John Ralph was very skeptical if he had actually injured it the way he said he injured it. Ralph smelled a conspiracy out there. But I told you, Ralph was talking to Bucks after the game, and he told Bucks of this conspiracy theory that I don't think he really did in the marking contest, and somebody didn't really hit his foot. And Bucks says, sometimes people just tell the truth. I just thought it was beautiful said.
He would have been halfway through that last quarter. He would have been very up and about, Ralphie, and then by the end of that Port game, he would have been crying into his pillow.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bo, he was just fucking unreal.
Oh, the run and carry.
On a sore foot.
Yeah. We got very few. We used to have a lot of run and carry players going back 18 months, 2 years ago, or guys who don't seem to have that anymore. Quaynor used to do it more than he does now, although this year's been better than the last. So, and then the Bobby Hill situation, which we've spoken enough about.
Well, I've got him last on my notes here, so we will touch on it a little bit again.
Yeah, trying to regulate my anger. This is what you're fucking paid for, Bobby. You're paid.
Back to Bo McCreary.
we're really Bobby.
Vein sticking out there.
Bobby's going to be a massive loss in this final series, and by the sounds of it, it's just too late now.
All right, let's talk. I wanted to talk about Bo. We will talk about Bobby.
He hasn't had the body of work apparently necessary to contribute in finals, and he's just a crying shame, and he's just selfish. I see it as just selfish.
All right, let me ask you this. Bobby Hill, week 1 of finals, he says, I want to play.
Oh.
Do we play him? Is he the perfect sub if he isn't 100% fit? Would you want Bobby Hill as a sub or someone like a Rowan Steele?
Well, psychiatry is my main field, so I'm not really in a position to say. But Yeah, I would like him as a sub, but they know their fitness. Well, I assume they know what they're doing down there fitness wise. So if they say, well, he's not up to even being a sub, you'd have to take that at face value.
I'm not convinced that they do know what they're doing, but
Yeah,
I want him in. I don't think he's going to be there, and I agree.
yeah.
Selfish. He's let his teammates down, his coaches down, the supporter base down.
He's let
Everyone in Collingwood.
Yeah, he's let the whole club down,
Yeah.
even extending to the seconds. Who, if he had played seconds footy, would the seconds be playing in a what's the competition?
Wild card.
A wild card round this round, or would they have been established in their finals?
In the top
and,
six,
and
yeah.
then the seniors could have drawn off that side, who would have still been playing. So he's let the entire club down. And I know, oh, mental health, you can't say anything. Nonsense. I'm saying stuff. Crap.
Yeah, crap. Back to Bo. let's get positive, Mick. Bo McCreary.
Bo McCreary, back to Bo. Hadn't we finished on Bo?
No, because you got distracted halfway through talking about Bobby. You're talking about how we need that breakaway speed in up the ground, and then you said we would have it with Bobby, and then you started.
Okay, so we're still talking about Bo. Have we finished with Snoop Dogg?
Depends. Do you have anything else to say about?
I don't. I thought you might have wanted to add something.
No.
Okay, so we've left Snoop Dogg behind. We're now concentrating purely on Bo. What else we got to say?
He was just very good.
He was very good.
I reckon he was second to Pendlebury, I reckon, that last quarter in terms of getting us over the line. He was just that good. He was just that good.
Oh,
We'll leave it there. He's
good.
crucial because my heart sunk. I was already devastated about Jeremy Howe. My heart sunk when I saw Bo coming off. I was like, this really is the end of our season right now. It really is. But but he's okay, and he'll be gearing up for a big final series too. But sorry, I'm just thinking about Jeremy Howe again. We don't have to talk about it.
What do you think about Jeremy Howe? I want to big up one big Billy Frampton.
Okay.
I was impressed by his game.
Yeah, I
really was. He keeps it simple, a bit like how I was saying Moore should play. He keeps it simple, but if there's an opportunity to take a mark, he'll take a mark. He plays within his skill level. So he'll do, instead of trying some elaborate, Taylor Adams type kick that they're clearly not up to, he'll just chip it 20 metres to somebody who can utilise it better. The man, as Clint Eastwood said, you got to know your limitations, and he knows his limitations.
Nah.
I think he's been good the last 2 weeks, especially.
Yeah.
His first week back, he was a bit rusty. He got a lot of criticism, unfair criticism, because he really hadn't played anything other than a half in the reserves. So I've given him votes. I liked his game.
Before we wrap up hot topics, man, let's just recap what was the biggest roller coaster of a night. Wasn't it fucked? Like, when the game first started, we thought
wasn't it fucked?
Well, at the start of the night, we thought percentage was crucial to our chances of top 4.
Yep.
And you get off to that fast start. Who kicked the first goal? Schultz kicked the first goal. Then Maynard kicks that one from 15. And the pressure was there. And we look good. And you think,
we'll control.
you think, we've got this tonight. Like 10, I reckon, at that point, I was thinking 10-goal win minimum. Then all of a sudden, that fucking awful free kick.
Crucial.
Umpire contact, like, get fucked. You like, if I see one of those fucking bastards, and there would be fucking umpire contact then, I'll tell you right now. Fuck me. But that set them off. Melbourne, they kicked their first, and then it was all downhill from there. And even at halftime,
it's like Walt Whitlam.
What were we? Well, only about a couple kicks up at halftime, but I never thought about losing. Even at that point, I was like, we're not going to lose, but we just need percentage. That third quarter, wasn't it the most flat, hard to watch quarter of your life? It was just excruciating pain.
Yeah, I remember we were a couple of goals up in that third quarter at one stage, probably early in the third quarter. And I just texted you, I reckon we could lose that. And as I'm sending the text, I think it was Bailey Fritz put one through, or might have been.
Painful. And then they get the lead, and then they hold on to the lead for quite some time. Petrarca kicks that first goal of the fourth quarter. I'm just like,
and they were up.
Done.
They were up and about, weren't they? They had the energy. They looked good, and then we just
that's when Pendlebury changed the game. Opened up the ground from those kick-ins. Just went direct. Yeah. Took it on. Looked like old school Collingwood, and was just able to fall over the line. Jesus.
Even though he's one of the all-time greats. Max Gawn contributed another shank late in a Collingwood Melbourne game. Out of bounds in the full, 20 rows back.
But then can you imagine? So then we win that game, and that was a hard stopper. And even at that point, you're just sitting back and you're like, we didn't win by enough. We're probably still going to fall out of the 4. Change it over to that Gold Coast Port game. Oh, yeah, they're in front. You sit down.
Oh, yeah.
That was a roller coaster in itself. Like, Jesus freaking. Can you imagine if we lost that game and then Port did us the favour? That would have stung even more.
Really? but at last, the umpires, like I said to you before turning it over to Port game, I said, maybe the umpires will favour the side that we're barracking for tonight. If it's not Collingwood, maybe. And I heard some stat like they were 20 ahead in free kicks at one stage, 33-13 or something.
That was
So look, I don't know if those free kicks were there.
Well, Dimmer says they weren't.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you've got to take that at face value. But at last, the umpires maybe counterbalances the Adelaide game from last week, where we just got crucified beyond.
And the first 2.5 quarters of that Melbourne game was just as bad. There wasn't as many obvious throws.
It's a push in the back, not a push in the back. How can you push a guy in the back and it be judged not a push in the back?
The one that got me...
We know what we're talking about.
The one that got me was the Jack Viney one. We pinged one arm. It was in Melbourne's forward 50. He basically then just threw the ball out and it was play on.
Yeah.
And then that one that caught holding the ball, the Goey was caught holding the ball, but just about 2 seconds beforehand, we had the Melbourne player cold. Can't remember who the Melbourne player was or the tackler, but it was just an absolute debacle. They are so fucking bad, the umpires. It is an absolute embarrassment to the game. And not just Collingwood, just every game you turn on, you're just like, oh, there's another obvious wrong decision. There's another obvious wrong decision.
But at the time, before the win, as I was saying to you was, we were a side that was 2.5 games clear on top of the ladder. We should have been cruising at this end of the year. We should not leave ourselves vulnerable to umpires not doing their job correctly, because umpires have always been fairly poor, and they've even got more poor since they've introduced more umpires. Surprise, surprise, they've actually got worse, which is if you get... So my point being, we shouldn't leave ourselves vulnerable to poor umpiring decisions. We should still have been nice and entrenched in the top 4. We put ourselves where we are here. Primarily, we put ourselves where we are. And as we said, it looks like it's going to turn out okay. But, where it's well established, the resting players against good sides and not resting players against poor sides doesn't seem to make sense to me. And losing by a kick in 2 of those games.
Well, I agree with you, because I've been saying that for weeks. I've been saying if we miss out on a 4, it would be the biggest in-season choke I've ever seen at Collingwood, and luckily we avoided that. But
we can criticise umpires as much as we like, but it's still our fault that we've put ourselves at their mercy.
Well, we more than doubled the inside 50s against Adelaide last week, and we lost the game of football. They were disgusting, the umpires, but we were equally as disgusting. Right, so I haven't told you this. Exciting news, Mick.
I bet it's not.
Well, don't be rude to Serg. It's about our good mate Serg.
Oh, yes. What's he up to?
Well, no VFL at the moment, because obviously we play tomorrow, so no VFL report. But Serg has given us a VFL preview.
Oh, good on him.
Yeah, so unfortunately, if you're listening to this after Sunday, it's kind of irrelevant. But
like most of our podcast is irrelevant.
But if you're listening to this beforehand, you get to sit down, buckle up, and listen to Serg's big VFL wildcard preview.
Well, that's the thing that's what I like about, that's the thing about football.
Welcome to the VFL Wrap. Today we're previewing Sunday's wildcard elimination final between Collingwood and Williamstown, where only the winning team progresses. If you recall, round 19, that's when the two teams played previously at the DSV Stadium. The Pies had a historic 11-point win. That was the first win at that particular ground. Close all day. Noah House kicked 4 goals. Cox, Parker and McRae were really good around the ground at its stoppages. The two teams play 2 different styles of game. Williamstown prefers to chip the ball around in defence, looking for openings, and then they kick it into their forward 50 as quickly as possible. They've got a gun forward. The Pies, on the other hand, prefer the chaotic handball chains through the middle from defence or wherever part of the ground the ball happens to turn over. So, an important game. And the game is played actually this time at Victoria Park at 2:05 on Sunday. Expect this game to be close, with the Pies needing to be very sharp in defence, centre clearances and stoppages to quell the goal-kicking plays and accumulators of the ball that Williamstown have. They've got McLaughlin, and who's kicked over 70 goals, and Greaser, O'Dwyer, Harlequin and Minton Connell, who are very good at the ball. So the Pies will have to rely on whoever's available in the AFL. I believe Cox at this stage, Parker and Allen maybe. With those ins, we should do well in the centre stoppages. Plus, I expect Markov to play in defence. Johnson hopefully will play up forward, which will give us a boost, as well as having Howes and Hayes there. We need to bring the pressure. That's it. It's going to be one in that area, but I predict the Pies will win by 15 points. If you can go, please do. Again, and support the VFL Pies. Back to you, Dermot and Michael. Go Pies.
Thank you, Serg. All right. So here's the question for you.
Yep.
I'm not sure if it's telecast. I'm assuming it's on TV. In some way, you'll be able to watch it. It's on Sunday. Will you be watching that a VFL wildcard or game against Williamstown, or will you be watching the AFL, whether it be the Bulldogs, Freo, or the Brisbane Hawks game?
Good question. I don't know the answer. I don't know. I'll start with one. Obviously, keep my eyes on the scores of the other, and whichever one is evolving better will be the one I'll watch in the second half. So we're either going to be on. There's probably going to be overlap.
Yeah, I think it's on at 5 something. Is it 5:15
What,
on
the
Sunday? The
VFL?
wildcard. I could be wrong.
Well,
I did watch Serge's thing beforehand, but I've already forgotten what time he said it was on. But yeah, I don't know what I'll be watching. I probably will end up watching the AFL. But how crucial is it that we get through this wildcard round for our AFL team in particular?
Oh, yeah. Be nice to be able to draw on players who have got to match fitness.
Yeah. All right. Do you have anything else for hot topics?
No, I don't.
All right.
No.
Let's get into the Julian Rowe medal.
Been pretty good, Julian Rowe. He's been better than pretty good. He's been a forward that has presented for them today.
All right. I've given 33 votes. I'll start off with, I've given 3 players 3 votes. One being Billy Frampton, who you touched on before. He had the 12 disposals, an equal team high 9 marks, an equal game high 9 intercept possessions. Jamie Elliott, he had the 15 disposals, an equal team high 9 marks, 4 inside 50s, and an equal team high 2 goals too. And Lockie Schultz, he had the 16 disposals, 4 tackles, 18 pressure acts, and an equal team high 2 goals 3. I then given Bo McCreary 5 votes. Absolutely crucial, as I touched on before. He had the 18 disposals, 4 inside 50s, an equal team high 8 scoring involvements, and an equal team high 2 goal assist. And that was from limited game time as well. He's obviously off for a lot. Was it the second quarter or third quarter?
Third quarter, I think it was.
So you probably could have had more than 5 votes. So it might have been a little bit harsh there. But
When they started their run as well, was when he was off.
yeah, so maybe I could have pushed it up to a 6, but I've given him the 5. Nick Dacos, 5 votes. He had a team high 27 disposals, a team high 13 contested possessions. He had 5 clearances, an equal team high 6 inside 50s. He had 5 tackles, a game high 24 pressure acts, and 453 metres gained. Probably a bit harsh again to only give him the 5. His score involvements were down. Wasn't his best, but he was still very good. I've then been given 2 players 7 votes and sharing best on ground honours. One being Pendlebury, mainly for his last quarter, but his overall stats were still very good. 21 disposals, 6 intercept possessions, 6 score involvements, and an equal team high 2 goal assist. And of course, Geordie, who we touched on before. He had the 26 disposals, 11 contested possessions, an equal game high 6 clearances, an equal team high 6 inside 50s. He had 486 metres gained, an equal team high 8 score involvements, and a goal. So to recap, I gave the Goey 7, Pendlebury 7, Nick 5, McCreary 5, Schultz 3, Elliott 3, and Billy Frampton 3.
Well, I've got a lot of the same players, plus a couple more What was your total?
33.
Well, this is the biggest difference we've ever had. I've gone 56.
You know that we weren't very good last night, right? That we're only in the top 4 basically because of what Port Adelaide did. We scraped over the line against a very average team.
So you're criticising my votes even before...
I'm criticising. There's no way that they deserve nearly maximum amount for that effort.
Pendlebury, 8.
Yeah, that's fair.
What did you give him?
7, but I'm happy with 8, yeah.
Nick Dacos, 7.
Yeah.
I think what you did there is you've put the Nick Dacos handicap on Nick Dacos. That if it was somebody else, if it was John Smith or Snoop Dogg or anybody with those stats, they would have got 7 or 8.
Oh, I mean, you might be right. Maybe
no, I am right.
Maybe we could have met halfway and gone 6, but
To Goey, 7. McCreary, 7. Billy Frampton, 6. Crisp, 6.
Oh, your love affair with Crisp. I don't want to give any spoilers, but the Julian Rowe medal, I'm looking at the leaderboard, Crisp is way higher than he should be. And I reckon you're giving him more than double the amount of votes that I have this year. He hasn't had a good season. You've overrated him.
Maynard, 6.
Okay, well, it's good that you've shown Bruzzy a bit of respect finally.
Schultz, 5. Elliott, 4.
Yeah. Well, so hold on, you didn't give Frampton any, or did you?
Yes.
Oh, sorry,
Frampton, 6. So we've got Pendlebury, 8. Nick Dacos, 7. De Goey, 7. McCreary, 7. Frampton, 6. Crisp, 6. Maynard, 6. Schultz, 5. Elliott, 4.
It's just a lot of votes to give you in a game where we just scraped over the line against an ordinary team. Can I just start this? I should have touched on this in Hot Topics.
Not interested in your approval.
But we're talking about it very quickly now. What did you think of Ned Long's game? It's always a talking point.
Ned Long's game, he's getting better. I think he's gone back to basics. See ball, get ball basics. And I think, what did he end up with? Stats high teens, wasn't it?
Yeah.
After a 22 possession game last week. So, yeah, if we can get him back to those low 20s, he's good for us. Like, it was funny when he got that ball and he kicked that goal. I just thought we need a bit of luck. As I handballed it to him, I said to myself, we just need a bit of luck.
That kick-started it for us, didn't it? Yeah.
We just need one to go, an unexpected goal. And yet that was that.
That was a slightly fluky goal. It was a good goal, and it kick-started our
comeback. But he obviously meant it. Yeah, he obviously meant it because he wasn't trying to put it to the top of the square or anything.
But I just completely forgot about that goal. Yeah. For some reason, even though it changed everything, that was good. But you know what pisses me off slightly about him? Early in the year when he was at his best, he had quite a few set shots and was kicking them.
Mm.
He didn't back that one early in the game where he should just gone, had the set shot, handballed it to Josh Dacos.
No, he kicked it to Josh Dacos further out.
Did he kick it?
Yeah, he kicked it to Josh Dacos. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a kick to Josh Dacos further.
No, it was a kick. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And then Josh, he dropped the mark and then he had to sort of play. Yeah. That's why I was thinking because I knew he played on. Yeah,
exactly. But even if he'd taken the mark, it would have been further out on a harder angle.
I think it was a bit closer.
Was it?
Now my memory is starting to fail me, but I just remember at the time wasn't happy. He should have just gone back, kicked the goal.
Yeah.
His disposal was quite average, but his set shot goal kicking is actually his strength when it comes to his disposal. He's nailed quite a few this year. But anyway, let's get in to Who Am I? All right.
Now, right, can we have an update as to the scores, please? That will be how I rolled this out tactically.
I'm pretty sure it's 22-16.
22-16, and who's had the more? Have we got even numbers now?
I haven't worked that out yet, but it's either even or you're.
Well, that's going to really impact on what strategy I take.
Well, we don't know how many more episodes we've got anyway, because it really depends on how Collingwood go.
Okay, rightio.
And I said to you at the start, woke up this morning, completely forgot my Who Am I.
Oh, yes.
So I put together a very, very quick Who Am I.
So is that impact on the quality of the clues given?
I like to think that it's at your standard anyway, because your clues are always quite shitty. So,
right.
All right, we'll go over it. For 5 points.
Snoop Dogg.
Do you want to lock that in?
Yes. Oh, I need the 5 points.
For 5 points, I was drafted to Collingwood with pick 15 in the 1992 National Draft as a forward and will be the first of my family to reach the AFL.
Oh, that's a big clue. The first of your family to reach the AFL. So none of his relatives have ever played AFL football.
If you
So
actually,
that's the vast majority of the
if
population.
you actually think about it, he was the first of his family to reach the AFL. So when he was drafted, no one from his family had played AFL. Eventually, some people in his family made the AFL. You idiot.
Okay.
The first of my family to reach the AFL. Not the only, the first.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
So
don't you're a sook. I think I gave you a pretty good clue and you sooked it up.
start again. So pick 15, 1990.
In the 1992 national draft.
1992.
As a forward and would be the first of my family to reach the AFL.
As a forward. Who did he come to Collingwood? Was that the clue? Did you mention?
I was drafted to Collingwood with pick
Collingwood.
15.
Sorry, Collingwood. So he came to Collingwood as a forward, and he picked 15, and he's the first of the family
Yes, it means he had relatives.
who subsequently went on to play at AFL level. Okay. Rightio. So 1992. So is that the national draft?
The national draft. It's a very short clue.
So the end of 1990s, because Sav Rocker was already there by that stage. So I'm ruling out Sav Rocker. Do I get points for people ruled out?
No.
Okay. Okay. I might.
But you're going to have a stab in the dark for 5.
I've got no idea what I'm
Oh,
going to pick, but I'm just thinking about having a stab for anybody for 5 because I need 5 points.
That's all right.
So he was
Go
the
on.
forward. 1992.
You know, I've
got
had
no
a
idea.
couple of fivers. You've never been brave enough to even attempt one.
Yeah, I've known a couple at 5, but never.
Oh,
but I
okay. Then
didn't-
why didn't you say it?
Well,
Not brave enough.
No, because the strategy at the time called it for discretion.
How do you think I got my big lead? 5 pointers.
Maybe the clues I'll give you are a little bit easier.
Yeah,
And the
because
play-
you're no good at doing the clue.
Yeah, look, I don't.
Can we move on to 4 then? Or are you going to have
I'm telling you, I don't know.
Well, you were talking about having a stab. Are you going to have a stab?
I can't even have a stab. Nobody's coming to mind.
For 4 points, this is a good clue. There's every chance you could get it here if your memory's good. I would debut against the Cats in round 7, 1994, and would kick 3 goals with my first 3 kicks.
The Cats, 1994, 3 goals, 3 kicks. Round.
His first 3 kicks were all goals.
We played the Cats in 1994 at the MCG on the day you were born.
Is that the one where Bucks kicked the winner?
That's the one where Bucks kicked the winner from the boundary. That was the true miracle of that day. May I just point that out? But we're never winning this game, and Bucks kicked this.
This was round 7, though, so I
This
reckon
round,
that was
that was the
yeah.
first game. It was you were born in August. Something.
How did you were you there for my birth or did you watch the game? Where were you?
I was physically there. Mentally, I was a long way away.
Were you watching?
In a much nicer
listening,
position.
had the radio on.
I somehow watched the game. I know the early stages are laboured. It's just a lot of carry on at that stage. You don't need to be there then. It smarts a little bit. I understand that, but really,
Can you get a move
they've
on?
got all those epidurals these days. Don't carry on so much, ladies.
Off.
Oh no,
And we've just lost all our female audience.
It's not a big deal. No, it's not 1872 in Yorkshire. Nobody's dying of childbirth these days. Sorry, refocus. 3 kicks, 3 goals. Geelong, 1994. This isn't a good clue. I don't like this.
Well, I think that's a good clue. If your memory, that's something that would stick out if you had a good memory. Obviously, I wasn't born, so I don't remember it.
I should know that. That is a decent question.
This is pretty good for a last minute thing that I put together.
His brothers ended up playing too.
I didn't say brothers, I said relatives.
Relatives. Well, his sons, maybe.
Maybe.
You know, when we're not counting, his daughter hasn't gone to play AFLW, has she?
No.
That doesn't count, okay?
It could be anyone.
Very careful.
Could be a cousin, could be anything.
I don't know. Go to 3 points. I don't know. I was going to.
For 3 points. In my 5th game against the Crows, I would only record 12 disposals, but would somehow secure the 3 Brownlow votes.
Patrick Cripps never played for Collingwood.
I actually had a feeling you're about to make a mistake.
What year was that?
The same. That was in his fifth game.
994. He played against Adelaide and got the 3
in his
Brownlow
fifth game.
votes.
Got 12 disposals, but would only get 3, which apparently was a little bit of it was talked about at the time.
Yeah. He might have kicked a few goals, did he, with those 12 disposals, possibly?
Doesn't sound like it.
I don't know. I'm just not switched on today.
Have you ever switched on?
I'm not switched on. What's that sun up to?
It's looking good. Look, you can see us.
Yeah. 12 disposals.
You need, and at some point you need to, like, you're about to go down the tube. You're not going to catch up. But
I can't even take a stab at it. I don't know. All
right, we're moving on.
Yeah, move on.
For 2 votes, I would miss 3 games in the middle of the season for striking Chris Naish, and by the end of my first and only season, I would finish on 11 games, not playing again due to a back injury.
I said, I wanted to move on to 2 votes, 2 points.
Oh shit! I said votes. I did a U.
Yeah,
I said votes.
What clue number is this?
2.
Oh, you have to do better at 2 than that.
All you do is sook.
That is nonsense.
I said votes because I even wrote down votes. This is how tired I was. I was doing this about 6 a.m.
Say it again. That's not a 2-point clue.
I would miss 3 games in the middle of the season for striking Chris Naish. And
so a guy 30 years ago was suspended for 3 games for striking Chris Naish of Richmond.
And by the end of my...
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Jesus.
And by the end of my first and only season, I would finish on 11 games, not playing again due to a back injury. So you got the back early. His career ended early because of a back injury. He had a famous 3-vote game in the Brownlow for only getting 12 disposals. 3 kicks, 3 goals. In 3 kicks from his first 3 goals from his first 3 kicks on debut.
Okay, what we're going to do...
I told you that he comes from a family that played AFL.
Yeah, what we're going to do is we're not going to carry on... We'll end the segment here, and I want people listening at home to get in contact with us. Tell us the answer. I'd be interested if anyone gets the answer.
We're going the whole way here, Mick.
Hold on.
All you do is... I think I gave you some good clues. Maybe this one's a little bit more difficult for a 2, but I think my 4-pointer and my 3-pointer were quite strong.
Okay. I'm going to take a bit to reflect the quality of the clue.
Luke isn't going to be happy with this.
I'm going to take my time, and I'm not going to be... So, pick 15, 1992, relatives played for Collingwood.
I didn't say relatives played for Collingwood. Relatives played in the AFL. Well, I clearly said...
I'm pretty sure you said Collingwood.
I did not say Collingwood. I said he was drafted to Collingwood, and he would be the first of my family to reach the AFL. To reach the AFL was the clue. It doesn't say to play for Collingwood.
I'm thinking of somebody.
Oh. Imagine if he got it after all this fucking whining. I kind of hope you do get it now, just to shut you up.
But I can't remember his name. I think I know him. He had the long hair. And his brothers played at other clubs. And I can't... I swear I know this bloke.
But how can you know him when the clues are so bad, Michael?
No, but just when you said his relatives didn't necessarily play at Collingwood.
Which was the very first clue I gave for 5.
Yeah, I know. I didn't fully absorb it though. I was thinking Collingwood. Country Victoria.
Wouldn't it be funny if you thought you had it and then you actually still...
No, this guy, his family was from Country Victoria. And... yeah, they kind of, they all had the Richo in the mid-90s, the long hair. They all, all those players had the long hair in the mid-90s.
Richo's haircut was just awful.
That style. And he was I'm pretty sure his number, was he 15 at Collingwood? And he was a forward, kind of a mid-side forward. I'm not going to get his name. I could picture him.
Sorry.
Yeah, go 1 point. Go 1 point.
All right, for 1 point. Myself and my two brothers would play a combined total of 306 games at AFL level with the Pies, Cats, Tigers, and Blues between 1994 and 2011. And I'll throw another little thing out, which isn't a part of the clue. He actually had another brother that played for St Kilda, but he never played a game. So there was actually four of them. But
So Geelong, Collingwood.
So the teams were Collingwood, Geelong, Richmond, and Carlton were the four teams between those three players.
Geelong, Collingwood, Richmond, and Carlton.
Let me give you a tiny other clue, just to help. So
No, I'm not taking your freaking charity.
I was going to say, one of his brothers played for Geelong and Richmond. One of them played for Carlton. And this guy played for Collingwood, obviously, and was on North Melbourne's list without playing a game after his time at Collingwood. I'm giving you all these extra clues that weren't originally in there.
I'm just not in the right headspace. For this. I should get this. They've played over 300 games between them.
Between the three of them, 306 games.
Between the three of them. So they played for Geelong?
So one of them played for Richmond and Geelong. One of them played for Carlton.
Right. Oh, I don't know.
You have to at least have a stab in
No,
it. You can't just get through to 5 and not give it an answer.
Rene Kink.
Is that you locked in? Rene King.
I've gone blank. I'm going to kick myself. Obviously, I know this. Brothers who played
Obviously, you know.
Geelong, Richmond. One was at St Kilda but didn't play a game.
Yeah, I'm not counting him, but that was just an extra little bonus.
I don't know.
So you're going to go through to 5 without giving an
This is
answer.
the first time I've failed to get the answer right. This is the first
So
time.
you're locking in nothing. Is that final? Locking in nothing.
I'm going to kick myself. It's going to be somebody so obvious.
I need you to say yes. But
I'm not going to be happy.
Are you locking it in? Because
Nah.
once I say it, that's it.
No, just give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Well, this is a podcast, Mick. People are going to be getting bored.
No idea it was a podcast.
People are
I
gonna be
thought
getting
we were just
bored.
talking to a laptop. I didn't know there was anybody listening.
People are going to be getting bored.
Oh well, heaven forbid people get bored.
I'm giving you 10 seconds.
I don't put the timer on me. I'm not going to be able to think in that
7,
10 seconds.
6.
Okay, forget it.
He's cracked the shit. Now go on, quick. Last chance. Last chance.
I don't.
Throw it a name.
I don't know.
Even if you can get the last name, I'll give it to you.
I just can't. No, I can't think at the moment. I don't know.
Done? You're done?
Yeah. Yeah.
I am. And can I just say you got the answer right? It was the guy with the long hair. I am Damien Houlihan.
Damien Houlihan. It was Damien Houlihan. Country Victoria, long hair. His brothers played.
Ryan Houlihan was the
Ryan
Carlton player.
Houlihan.
He played over 200 games.
Freaking Houlihans. Yes, I did know it.
That's my favourite one so far.
So even when I got it wrong, I got it right. I just couldn't think of the name. That was a tough one, Dermot.
Oh, you got it. You got it correct. You're just going to remember his name.
You've got how many? Yeah, that was from 30 years ago. A guy who played, how many games he played? 50, maybe?
11.
11.
That was in the clue, you idiot.
Oh, you gave me that clue was 11 games?
Yes. See, you don't listen. You're too busy talking over the top of me and complaining that you don't listen.
Houlihan, of course. Jesus.
Right. We're going to wrap this up. I've got a bit of an announcement for what we're going to be doing over the finals. You're not invested anymore.
No.
So essentially, we'll be back next week, despite there being no game for our.
Are we?
We are for our pre-finals bye episode. So at that point, we'll know who we're playing, whether it be Adelaide or Geelong, and we can talk more about that. We've also got a very exciting Blast from the Past. It's back. Blast from the Past, where
I like the intro to Blast from the Past.
Yeah, you chose that one.
Yeah, that's their best intro.
But it's my baby, and you ruined it a few weeks ago with that Richmond thing. It's not your traditional Blast from the Past next week. I'm listing my top 10 Collingwood finals outside of grand finals.
Boring.
So it goes from about 2002 to 2023. top 10 finals outside of grand finals.
There'll be a few reaching for the old FF button when that comes on, I reckon.
I'll send you the list beforehand so you can do your research on these games.
Oh, am I participating in this?
Yeah, we can talk about these games. It's finals time. It's a great time. We wanna dig deep in and talk about past final success. You know, we're not gonna have a game to talk about or to review. So we need to talk about something.
Yeah, okay. Right,
and then we can preview the big final and the whole final series ahead as well. That'd be good. Panel show back Tuesday, 2nd of September. Serg, Paige, and Oscar all back. And the announcement is it's not going to be monthly in September. It will be weekly. As long as our season is live, there will be a panel show every single Tuesday. And
that's a threat.
I've spoken to all our past panelists, so Pat and the Grubman and all that. They'll be back at some point during September. Andreas is a little bit more 50-50 because he's obviously got his own show in Black and White United, so he's going to pump out a lot of content on there. Be good to get him on at some stage, but no promises. But everyone else, they'll be in. And yeah, you and I will be working hard over September with our regular shows and panel shows. Pumping out content, Mick.
Pumping out content.
Yes.
Right, okay.
So we're in. It's September. Yep. We're top 4. We've done it.
Yep.
It's time to reset.
Yes,
get your fucking heads back in the game, Pies. Start to perform.
Stop slapping your hand.
Perform, and we're going to be premiers for the 17th time.
Yeah.
3 more wins, Mick. Fucking 3 more wins, and we're there.
Yeah. Cheer up, Bobby. Get back to work.
Oh, Bobby Hill. Fuck, man.
Cheer the hell up. Take a walk in the park.
It's exciting. This is going to be our first time on the Into the Woods podcast where we're in the finals. Obviously, last year been our debut. Really flat end to our podcasting season, but this is good. Time to get up and about.
Right. Yep,
fuck yeah. Any final words, Mick?
Love you, my man.
Is that a Snoop Dogg reference?
No, it's what I stole. Yeah, I've done it before. I stole it off a guy on YouTube. Yes. He said it sincerely, though, so I think there's a...
All right. Don't forget to subscribe to our channels on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. If you want to follow our socials, you can find us on X @IntoTheWoodsPod and on Instagram @IntoTheWoodsPod10. Thanks for listening. We look forward to doing it again next week. See ya.